Alright, what's up YouTube, Addicting Air here. Today we're going to be going over why you should actually summon for this Mela right here. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos from popular YouTubers saying you should skip this unit. And I'm here to tell you, don't do that. You're going to regret it. Just like you regretted skipping Megalda for the bird. And I'm going to draw the comparison. You'll see why this Mela is actually a deer unit. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't seem like it. People don't know much about it, but this Mela, because not that many people have tried deer, this Mela is perfect for the deer, and I'll explain why. First, let's go over her kit. She's got an ult reduction card, not even like the good one, like it's a better one. Sorry, it's a good ult reduction card, so it goes 1, 2, and 3 instead of being 1, 1, 2, like or like I think it's 1, 1, 3. Sorry, the usual is 1, 1, 3. But this one's 1, 2, 3. So this is the good ult reduction card Mela has here. She also has a barrier card. This is very important for the deer. This might be one of the reasons why she's really good for the deer. And I'll go to the deer and I'll look at his passives and I'll tell you why. This is actually what makes her the deer unit. This is an extra. You know, depleting ult gauge is nice off a boss. Always. Could be useful in PvP as well. I don't really see her as a PvP unit. I mostly see her as a deer unit. Her passive... Start of the battle increases basic stats by 20% of the hero's lifesteal. So if you have 100% lifesteal, you get 20% basic stats to all your allies. And then all allies are immune to ignite effects. It's basically a KO counter, but it also helps on a deer passive. So, why should you summon for this unit? Like I said, this is a deer unit. Why does it matter when there's going to be, let's say you're thinking, okay, well, why do I need this Mela? Shouldn't I save for the possible the next festival is most likely a light unit, right? So you're thinking, all right, why should I summon for this Mela and not summon for the light unit? Because if you don't know, in the deer you have to actually attack him with all 3 colors. I don't know if it'll say right here, but so on phases 2 and 4 of every floor you have to hit with all 3 colors, or you do a fixed amount of damage of 1. So there's no way around it. You can't cheese it like you did with the bird, where you're able to kill him before he can AoE kill you with the stance, right? So you need all 3 colors, right? Meaning, if you summon for the light unit, you're going to either be replacing... You can't run both a light and a dark unit on your team, because then you wouldn't have all 3 colors, because there's only 4 units on a team, right? So either... this new Liz has to be, or whatever light unit it is, has to be better at the deer than Melly, so you have to replace Melly, or it's not as good as Melly and she's better at other things, and you won't use her on deer. You can't use both of them. So as busted as she is, she either you replaces Melly or she doesn't replace this darkness Melly, whatever it is, right? So that's my first point to people who say, oh, just save for the festival, okay? Second point, her barrier card. Why is that important? Now, if you go to phases 4 of every floor, he has this stance card, right? And this stance card, usually you'll kill before you get to the deer being able to use this card. That's how most strategies work, is kill him so he doesn't have to use this card, because he uses this on the 3rd turn of every phase. But some teams, you have to tank this. Now, if you can read right here, it's a stance that does 1,500 attacks. So it basically one-shots you, right? So you don't want to attack into the stance. But you need to finish your color cycle of red, green, and blue in order to actually do damage to this boss. So you have to attack it. So what do they introduce? Results in a miss when attacking enemies with barriers. Who else has a barrier? You guessed it. This new Mela. She has a barrier. It's a 2-turn barrier, right? It probably won't survive a turn, but if you use this card, then you start attacking to that enemy, his counter will miss, which is very big. Another big thing, her passive, immune to ignite effects, right? You're thinking, oh, KO counter, right? This is what I'm thinking. If you click on floor 3, second passive you get, applies 4 ignite effects on all enemies when assuming a stance. Now this is pretty bad if you're running a normal team. If you're running the new Mela, this passive doesn't even apply to you, which is huge. A passive not having a 1 in 3 chance from basically not to gain a passive for a boss that's as hard as deer is insane. It's insane. So you will not get these 4 ignite effects. He'll stance. Remember, you can make him miss his stance with your barrier card. So she hard counters basically phase 4 of every floor of this deer, right? That's that's why she exists. She is a deer unit, right? Now, all you're thinking, oh, but it's a 600 banner. Let's look at the banner, right? Because you're gonna have to summon if you want her to do deer, you're gonna have to summon. So this is the banner. The new Mela's at 0.5, which is very high. And then these are at 0.25. Anything useful here? If you don't have these 4 Valentine units, I would say the 4 Valentines units are worth getting a copy for. You don't really need duplicates of them. Maybe of Blue Dairy, you want duplicates because their ult actually hits kind of hard, but not really. Summer Merlin, really good. Red Lizhawk, good on Guild Wars, pretty much bad everywhere else. Matrona, still good for deer and bird, so she's a very good pickup if you get her. And then the rest are kind of dead. I mean, Summer Roxy's good for CC purposes, but besides that, with her relic, she has high CC. But without her relic, pretty useless. That's the banner. Not the greatest, not the worst, not as you would think. Oh, the Scotty banner was better, had Miguelda on it. Sure. But this is a solid banner nonetheless. First, a deer unit. I'm telling you, I'm begging you, please. I'm actually begging you. Do not skip this. You're thinking, oh, you're a whale. You're just saying that because you're a whale. No, I'm serious. I'm actually serious. I'm looking at the camera. Don't skip this. This is gonna be like Miguelda. I showed you why she perfectly fits on the team. Remember, you need red, green, and blue on your team. Right now, the only 3 options for green are Brunhild, which is she's not the greatest. Green Arthur with the damage reduction, or Green Gother for the attack-related stats buff. So she gives you the barrier. She removes ult gauge, so she has an attack. She has a single target ult, which is the ult is not that strong, but it's still a single target ult. It's not an AoE ult. And she gives 20% stats to all your allies. Basic stats to all your allies. And she's immune to ignites for that one passive I showed you earlier on. So you see it, right? It's not just me. She is a deer unit. Okay? You need to summon on this unit. I'm not saying get multiple copies. I'm not saying 6-6. I'm not saying do a full rotation. I am saying go until you pull her and then leave. Obviously, if you pull her at like the 500 step, then it's kind of worth just going to the 600. Maybe. But I'm telling you right now, for 0.5 characters, there's a high chance you pull them before the 600. For me, I've summoned on 600 banners like the Sariel and the Lilia, and you usually get a copy or 2 in a rotation before they're guaranteed. At around 300, you'll probably get a copy of them. Maybe, again, depending on your luck. But I'm telling you, 1 copy is all you need. You see this team right here? This is probably the best team you could use for deer at the moment. The Green Gother sometimes is replaced with Green Arthur, but this is probably the best you can get. You would replace this Green Gother with Mela, and then you'd be able to give all your allies, you still be able to give your allies basic stats. And she won't die because she has high lifesteal. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I didn't want to make this video too long. That's why you should summon. Remember, 1 copy. She's a deer unit. Deer equals relics. Relics equals basically better units. Basically upgrades the units you already own, like Goddess Liz. Most people have Red Sariel. Most people have Tarmiel. Most people have Margaret. We don't even know if it's going to be just goddesses or if it's going to be goddesses and giants, meaning Droll could get some, or fairies, which could be Fest King gets one. So please listen to me. Don't listen to the others. I gave you reasons why. People are just saying skip for a festival. Festivals are low rates, half the rates actually of this current for the new unit. There's other festivals on it, yes, but the other festivals aren't good for the deer, right? You need something that'll help you in PvE, because PvP, you could run old festivals in PvP, and you'll still be okay. You'll still win games, but you can't run the Bond team in deer. You'd get slapped, right? But you need PvE content things, because those relics will help you also in all other different types of content, right? So that's it. I didn't want to make this video more than 10 minutes long. Um, like and subscribe, please, please, please summon. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.